Couple years down the road, you're you're out at a big box retail store. You're there to buy some new underwear
Nice.
because as you say to yourself in the fucking steamy mirror that morning, it's time.
I say that to my reflection.
Yeah, you get out of the shower, you fucking wipe the steam away with your hand. You think about the task of going and buying some new underwear and you just kind of steel yourself and you go, it's time.
Fuck yeah.
So you get out of the shower, dripping, wet. You dry yourself off. You get dressed. You go to the store. You gotta get some shit. You're gonna get a new package of toothpaste. You're gonna get a pack of light bulbs. You got one that went out in your bathroom. You're gonna get a roll of paper towels. While you're there, you're gonna saunter back to the corner of the store and you're gonna pick out some new fucking undies. That's exactly what you do. You get all the things that that you want. You put them in your little cart. You get back there and because you want to have everything already there because you want to take your time picking out these undies. You want to make sure you don't overlook any of them, any of the packs. You go back to like this four-way rack, They got various brands. You got your Fruit of the Loom, your Hanes. There's Lanalax brand undies.
What are those like?
So each one of them they have like a three pack or they have like a six pack, you know, and they all kind of have various color themes, right? They have blacks and grays. They have primary colors. They have bright colors. They have some with very basic designs like stripes,
Okay.
polka dots.
Oh, good times.
So they all have like pretty much the same set of various colors, designs, whatever. They've got them in your size. So you find like a six pack of each one. You squeeze them in your hands like an accordion. Like you have your hands clasped at like the long ends, like a hot dog, and you squeeze together to feel how much yield there is, you know? So
Okay.
you're giving it the accordion squeeze test, and the Lanalax brand boxer briefs have the least amount of yield. It's like the fabric is a little thicker. Maybe it's better made.
Okay.
So that's like ultimately the thing that makes your decision.
I've always been a boxers guy. Is there a reason why I'm suddenly buying underwear, or does it have to be underwear?
Well, you've always been a boxers guy, you know, but what you
Traditionally.
were traditionally, yeah. And and you've always felt that like you wouldn't call yourself a dangerous man or like a risk-taking man necessarily.
Oh, sure. No, I would not.
But the one thing about you was that you wore traditional boxers. And sometimes that fly opens up and has a mind of its own.
Okay.
And wouldn't you know it, you were walking along, you're walking down the street, and there was like a guy who is running for in the Olympics. He's a long distance runner at the University of Texas, and he's like an Olympian. He was running down the street, and there was a guy like photographing him, and they got like a very clear picture of your penis and balls because your fly was down and your fly on your boxers came open, so they like got like high res like detailed like the he you know how like sometimes on those cameras if you like half hold the shutter button it'll focus. Well, the camera focused like several pictures right on your penis that was out.
Oh no.
So, you know, and it's like one of those things where this guy like didn't think of anything, like he overlooked it, so it made it into like a publication. You know,
Oh
the photo
man.
it was like his Olympic photo, and you know by the time it like got out there, the whole world had seen your penis. It's startling clarity when they have like a whole thing where they're like, see all of the your Olympians photos here, and they have like a gallery, and it's like the highest res, and people just like blow it up and see your penis in great detail.
Oh
So you
no.
are like, I am not going to take that anymore. You know, I'm going to switch to boxer
No.
briefs.
Oh my gosh. Hey,
Yeah.
let me ask you this. Did that like help me with like the ladies after that happened?
Oh, absolutely not.
Ah, damn it.
Because
I don't
you just
blame
had
them.
your dick out in public, you know.
Yeah.
And frankly, like, you know, it people like didn't necessarily know it was you because it's like it's sharp on your penis, but not your face, and you were so far in the background. Like definitely were like, hey, this guy looks just like Pat, you know. People like thought it because it was obviously you. Uh, but it was like blurry enough to where you couldn't be like adequately identified.
Okay. Yeah, if
The
anyone asked, I
the
would say it wasn't.
yeah, you're like, what? No.
I tell you, but I think
Yeah.
yeah,
You
June
do
asked
tell
probably.
me, and then I end up telling a lot of people.
Oh no, why? Why would you do that?
I talk about it as like a stand-up set. I'm like, I know that guy, you know? And people are like, what? And I was like, yeah, I know that guy. He's like a good friend of mine. And people just easily put like two and two together. And I even like go to the spot where the photo was taken and I like recreate it.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Well, the clip kind of blew up because it was timely, and then people were like, "We want proof." So I was like, "Okay," you know,
Oh
and
man.
the dopamine got to me, and the clicks, baby, you know, I did it for the clicks. Come on, the clicks, yeah. So you, you can eat that click,
Stick it up yo, yeah. Stick it
yeah.
up yo,
Click it up,
yeah.
yo, yeah.
Click it up yo, yeah. Click it up yo, yeah.
You get it.
Sure.
You forgive me quickly, due to my boyish charm. So you know,
I would too. God damn
yeah.
it.
So
Fuck.
you like I said, you're there, you're buying boxer briefs, right? You buy you get your like four or five items, you know. You you go into the you're like oh, you realize like as you're getting ready to leave, you're like, oh, I have to take a piss. Gotta go to the piss zone.
Yeah. What brand
You
did I end up going with, by the way?
the Lanalax brand,
Okay, good.
you you go inside, you're like, oh shit, I brought my bag full of stuff in here. There's a sign that says like don't no goods beyond this point, you know, shit like that.
You just wag your finger at me.
Yeah. The sign has the sign has a guy on it that when you it's like
Wagging
one of
a
those wagging a finger, right? It's like one of those it's like one of those images that like changes as you move left to right, you know?
Oh,
Like
sure, yeah.
it's like
But
one of
it's just him
those.
wagging. Okay.
Yeah, it's like an old man wagging a finger. Just don't bring any goods beyond this point.
Why even have that?
Well, because the store did some research and they found that like out of all of the shrink that occurs in a retail setting, 75% of it occurs in the bathroom.
The shrink being what? Like theft, you
Like
mean?
shrink is like theft. Yeah, sorry, I'm a lifetime retail worker. Yeah, shrink is theft.
Okay.
So they're like people are taking the goods into the bathroom. If we can prevent that as much as possible, then that will
Mhm.
help our numbers. So this is just kind of like a, you know, an anti-shoplifting initiative, right? They got a holographic old man on a poster in the men's room, and you ignore him. You know, you bring your
Yeah,
bag, you
fuck
kind of
this
roll
guy.
your eyes as you are wont to do at figures of authority.
I paid for this.
The so you go to like use the urinal, the changing station is down. right? The baby changing station. You set your bag on like the table, you know. You turn around, unzip, pull out that fucking cock,
Oh my, Aaron.
hold it in your hand, and just paint the porcelain wall of that urinal. You
Such a
lean against the
poor way of
wall
putting it.
for support.
Oh God.
The chill runs down your fucking spine. You go to wash your hands, right? You're looking at the in the mirror, you see the tables down and like a red like light bar had like started flashing around it. And you see that the table sort of turns into like a Venus flytrap sort of device where it's like
Whoa.
swallowing up your goods and you go, "Whoa, what?" You reach in to grab it and this thing latches onto your arm. You see a hole opens up in the wall
What?
and then you are dumped into a galvanized steel welded trash chute. You're sliding down this dark metallic shaft,
Ugh.
the stench of garbage coming up from underneath you, and you can't see anything but a dull glow at the very bottom of this shaft. You land into like a big pile of fucking garbage. It's a big pile of trash. You look up, you're in like a metal container that they're gonna have to dispose of, you know. There's a couple different chutes that all lead into one. There's like another metal container that has like another chute leading into it, kind of separate of all the other ones. You look around and you are in like the belly of this building, right? Sitting on a pile of fucking trash. You hear like the mechanized hum of the table going back into place. So phase one of this anti-shoplifting initiative is the grumpy uncle, the grumpy grandpa, you know, whatever there's a the group is
Grumpy
split. Is he
grandpa.
Yeah, he's either a grumpy uncle or grumpy grandpa, and he's their
I hate
anti-shoplifting
that.
icon, right? They got a whole ad campaign going with him, but half of the team wants grumpy grandpa, probably because of alliteration more than anything, and the other
I
side is
hate
grumpy
that.
uncle, so
Grumpy
they're
grandpa is so not okay sounding to me.
and to be honest, I mean, there's a pretty big schism on the team. People fall on both sides of the fence pretty strongly, but there are more people on the grumpy grandpa side of things than
All right.
the grumpy uncle. So I don't know, but it'll sort itself out. So that was like phase one was this, holographic elder male. Phase two was these they turned the baby changing tables, they added an element to them to where if it felt anything other than a baby on it, then it was going to swallow that and then put it in and like just to like get rid of it, to like and there's like a sensor that if it is a product that can be put back on the shelf, it'll go into a different bin. But most of it just gets picked up and put in the trash. It's all in an effort to stop shoplifting. And frankly, the numbers over the last couple quarters have been pretty fucking good.
But I paid for my stuff.
Look, I'm not saying that it's a perfect system, but if we're being honest, had you listened to, the grumpy grandpa, you wouldn't be in this position in the first place.
Well, I
You
didn't know this was going to happen. If I knew that, I would have just waited. I would have went
Well,
somewhere
I
else.
mean, does every single rule need an explanation behind it? We'd never get through life if that were the case. You chose to break a rule and, your goods got carried away into the trash chute along with your form. You look down, there's a severed hand laying there next to you. It's
Holy
it's
shit.
it's rigor mortis kind of
Oh,
giving you the middle finger.
oh no. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna sue the fuck out of this place. This kind of rules now. But how the hell do I get out of here?
So that's the thing. You you get up, right? You stand up, you're on again like a big pile of trash. You're climbing around. They're like these big like trailer that you see on like an 18 wheeler. They're like that size. They're huge, especially compared to you. So you manage to like climb up, you throw a leg over the side, you're sitting on the upper rail. There's a concrete floor beneath you. You see multiple chutes going into this trailer. There's another trailer on the side. You do kind of look up along the outer wall of the big cavernous room. You see like some kind of a door. Looks to be like a metal door. There's a dim light bulb hanging over it. What do you do?
Can I see anything else?
No, it's pretty dim. It's just several chutes leading into this trash trailer, and then there's another trailer to the side that has its own chute.
But you said there was a door?
Yeah, there's a door along the
I
wall of
peek
this
through it.
room. Well, it's
Check it out.
like a metal industrial door.
Can I open it?
You grab the handle. You it kind of jiggles. It feels locked, but it feels like it's loose. You know.
With it jiggles, I can work with jiggle.
You say that out loud. You say
Damn it.
you
What a dumb thing to say.
you feel the jiggle of the door handle in your hand. You go. You kind of like press your tongue against your lip. You go.
Oh, come on.
I can work with a jiggle.
Oh, it's humiliating.
You stand there and you just jiggle the door handle for about 15 minutes. You just jiggle the door handle and then try it. And you do that for a solid 15 minutes. And it doesn't work at all.
All right. Well, I guess I spoke too soon.
So you kind of look around, right? You can't get out the door. You start looking up into the chutes. The one that's the lowest to the bin, you can see that there is like a ladder on the inside of it. You stand at the top of the bin. You give it everything you fucking got. You jump and you grab the ladder. You manage to pull yourself up.
Whoa.
You've been working out lately, so you're in like pretty decent shape.
Really?
Yeah,
It's kind of funny.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not funny, you just you were assaulted in a parking lot by like a
What?
very old woman, and it got caught on video. There's a lot of people laughing at you. The
Wait, what happened?
the so you were in a Hobby Lobby. You had just left a wing place and you had to take a shit. So were going into a Hobby Lobby and you just, I mean, nuked the bathroom. You
Oh,
came out of
jeez.
there, right? And a lady was like going in there and she like it hit her in the face and she was like, "You should be ashamed of yourself," you know? And you were like trying to get out of the store and she just was not having it. She followed you out and she was like yelling, like, "Somebody go back there and smell what this man did," you know? And so
Oh,
people were like going back there and the smell just kind of like crept into the greater Hobby Lobby. And you'd think with all those candles, they wouldn't have a problem covering it up, but they could not
yeah.
get the scent out of there.
Really?
So
Oh,
this lady
man.
follows you out into the parking lot. She's like frothing mad. You kind of like stop and stand up to her, and she slaps you in the face, and you just fall to the ground. And she just starts kicking you in the fucking ribs, right?
Oh, oh.
She's a lot stronger than she looks, and everybody was like standing around watching because like it was what you did in there was so bad. But ever since then, you started working out, you started hitting the weights, you started right, you started
This was my motivator to
yeah, yeah. You saw this physical trainer and his first like the first time you guys met, he was like, "What brings you in today?" And you're like, "I will not be assaulted by an 80-year-old woman ever again." You had like tears in your eyes and stuff. You were crying.
yeah,
So you had to like wipe down the that like led him into that whole thing of like always wipe down your equipment. You never know what's on there. It could be tears,
sure.
so he's it's a nice entry into one of the basics of gym etiquette. So he was pretty thankful for that. So,
Whatever.
you pull yourself up in this tube, right? there's like a right angle where it levels out for a second, so you can start to kind of maneuver and move around. You start it's like an upward circular loop kind of a thing, like a corkscrew kind of a thing. So you're climbing up there. It's not such a steep grade that it is impossible, but it's difficult, you know. So in those trying moments when you're climbing upwards and you feel like giving in, you just think about that 80-year-old lady looking at your fucking bruised eyes and just spitting right in your face
Oh,
before burying another pro hop lead kick right into your fucking ribs.
I mean, does this woman get in trouble, by the way?
No.
How could she not? Do you say it was on video?
You guys go to court. Yeah, it's definitely on video. You guys go to court and the defense goes, "She's an old lady." And the judge is like, "Yeah, you're right." And they threw it out.
Ah,
They threw it out.
it's not justice.
No, I mean it's really not, you know. That lady went on to kill 15 people a year and a half later. So
Oh my God, doing what?
she just acquired like a bloodlust and had to satisfy it.
This was the start?
She was so close to ending your life that she just had to know what it would be like to go one step further. 15 people died that summer.
Oh man.
So, but that's really not your, it's neither here nor there.
Right. It's just good to know, I guess.
So you're climbing around, right?
Climbing around.
You're
I'd be
going
so pissed.
upwards.
This entire time, I've been so fucking furious. This
Oh yeah.
sucks so bad.
Yeah, you're sweaty. You're in like a trash, just like a smelly trash filled chute, you know? You kind of come up to a part where the tube widens out a little bit into like a little flat area. There's a control panel of something there, you know. I don't know what it does. It's under plexiglass, lock and key. You can't access it. But there is another ladder that takes you up into the next level. And you go to grab the rung, and you hear behind you like a squeaking. You go, huh? You look around, nothing's there.
Oh,
You focus again on the ladder. You go to pull yourself up. You hear it again. You look back and you see just the flash, the last moments of a rat's tail goes running behind like a grate in the wall.
that is always, oh man, what a creepy sight.
You kind of brush it off again.
Yeah, whatever.
You try to go back up the ladder. You hear another screeching sound, and you look back and you see the face of a rat. It looks to be pretty big, maybe like a foot and a half long. It's like a big fucking rat, and it's looking at you. It's black, beady eyes. Do you say anything to it?
Do I say anything to it?
Yeah. What do you do?
Like, ah,
It goes. It like squeaks like in the same way. Recoils, sticks its little wet nose out,
I guess
maintains eye contact.
I look at it and I go, man, this is not our day, my friend.
He says, "You're telling me we
What?
don't get visitors down here."
How can you speak?
He comes out from behind like the grate. He's up walking upright on two legs. He says, "We've lived in this mall a long time. We've heard all of your conversations and have picked up your language."
Oh, this is so fucking stupid. All right. Okay. Sure.
He kind of looks at you. He looks at you up and down. He goes, "How did you get here?"
I guess I would tell him.
He kind of like looks at you in disbelief. He goes, "You survived all the way from up there?"
Yes.
He goes, "And you're climbing this?" He goes, "You know how long you have to go?" He goes, plus it gets too narrow at the top. You'll never fit.
What do I do?
He says, did you try the door? And you go, usually I'm pretty good with a jiggle, but I just couldn't get it. And the rat looks at you and is like, what?
I
He
thought I was
goes, you
done with
couldn't you
this.
couldn't get in through the door?
I jiggled it and everything.
He says, huh, maybe we can help you. He says, I think we have a hole that leads us into that room. I could try to get up there and unlock the door for you. He goes, but you think you could help us?
With what?
He goes, there's a new pack of cats that have been hanging around outside. And he says, there is a bin that leads in here from outside. So we've been getting attacked lately. He says, would you go out and help us and help defend us against these cats?
Yeah, of course.
He goes, really? He kind of perks up.
So this is a
He says,
rat, right? It's not a rat person. It's just a
no,
rat
it's a
walking on.
fucking rat. Yeah, walking on its
Okay.
hind legs. It's eating an apple.
How tall
It
is it?
pol- about a foot and a half.
It's eating an apple.
Yeah, it polishes it on its jumper that it's wearing.
It's wearing a jumper.
Yeah, it's wearing a jumper that's made out of a receipt paper. Re- Dude, receipt paper jumpers are sweeping the vents,
The
right?
vents.
Like rats everywhere are. There's like one specific rat that is like making these receipt paper jumpers and selling them on the rat market.
Really?
Yeah. Out of all the rats that live in the vents, there's probably like 75% of them are wearing receipt paper jumpers.
So
It's
you're saying that there's a type of commerce in the vents where the
oh,
rats
oh
live.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, think about what all falls down those vents. Some of it's good, some of it's usable. I mean, especially if you're a fucking rat.
The vents.
That's where they throw all the produce that goes bad. There's like a compost pile. So the rats just pick it clean.
Okay, so how do we get the fuck out of here? I hate the vents so much. I mean, it's kind of cool, but I can't be here.
So he's like, okay. He goes, uh the produce guys throw out the stuff they won't sell every day at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And you there's like he has a watch on. It's like a busted like smartwatch. It's like around his waist. And it says 258. So he's like, follow me. So he leads you like back down through the vents, right? He's much more nimble and lithe than you are. So
Yeah,
he's
slow
kind of
down a
like
little.
he's like, come on, buddy. Like he's like very much like a good natured and patient, you know? He's
Oh
got all these like
yeah.
he's got all these like little quips that he fucking nails you with as you're like struggling, right? He
It's like
goes,
I'm Link.
maybe, yeah, he's like, maybe you should visit the diet section next time. He
All right, whatever.
goes, I think we got some Slim Fast down here. And when he says that, you hear like several
Oh
different like
shit.
small laughs come throughout echo throughout the stainless steel vents.
I cannot wait to be out of here.
You fall all the way down into that mountain of trash. You roll up to the side and you get out. You're walking along the concrete floor. There's like four other rats that are behind you. A lot of them wearing receipt paper jumpers. One of them's not, and he's like clearly the outcast of the group. So, you're like walking along, you see a big green like metal plate in the side of the wall, right? The light above it starts to flash and the door opens up, and here comes just like this deluge of produce that is deemed like not sellable, bruised apples, soft avocados, onions with big hunks taken out of the side,
Okay.
wilted lettuces and herbs, slimy mushrooms, broken carrots, all this produce that is just unappealing, or or it's not going to sell, just gets dumped down there. And these rats go fucking crazy, right? These rats go fucking crazy. They're like scooping all of this stuff up, right? They've got like a little they have like a little rolling cart situation put together. They're throwing stuff in the cart, and then you hear like a meow, like just a cat meow and a hiss just echo throughout the vents. You see all the rats sort of look up skyward and they
Well,
go, "How'd they get in?" And in that moment, like four, five cats just come flying out of the vents, heading straight towards you guys. Normal cats, just street cats. What do you do?
I try to get like really big and I just scream at them. I try to like scare them off.
You do that. You get really big, right? You scream at them. One of the cats jumps, lunges right at your fucking face, claws out.
Uh-oh.
You can see its sharp teeth glinting under that lone dull light above the door. What do you do?
I guess I try to punch it.
So you rear back and you just punch this
Yeah.
cat. And you make contact. You hit this cat right on the jaw.
Nice.
The cat gets sent flying like a helicopter, right? Sideways into the concrete
Holy
wall. It
shit.
falls motionless at the floor. The other cats see it and they look up at you and they all hiss. And then they just run back. They leap up, back up into the vents. You can hear them hissing and meowing as they
I
run
hiss right
away.
back.
You hiss back. You look up into the fucking darkness inside the vents and hiss. The
I
mice
say I'm
hiss
going
too.
kind of crazy. Yeah, I feel like we're all gonna go a little feral for a while.
The mouse that you first met, he says, "Mister, I can't tell you what that means." He goes, "I don't think they're going to be coming back anytime soon." And the other
Oh,
mice like,
sweet.
or the other rats like, "Yeah, yeah." And they look up at the door and you go, "Can you let me out of here?" And they're like, "Of course." So he like runs up into the vents. You hear his little rat feet skittering throughout the vent as it, scratching echoes off of it. You can see you look into the darkness of the room. You see that a small figure sort of runs along the window's edge, and you can hear the jiggle of the door handle. And you're holding it, and you're kind of like, you're turning it down at the same time. Something gives way, you could turn it, and the door swings open.
Hell yes.
Your rat friend is on the other side.
Hey, what's your
He
name, by
goes,
the way?
he goes, he goes, "My name? My name is Shelvin. Shelvin."
All right. Thanks, Shelvin.
He goes, "What's yours?"
I'm Patrick.
He sticks a little rat hand out.
I guess I shake his hand.
You shake his hand. You go, he's
What a
like,
day.
"Pat."
What a day.
He goes, I'll never forget this. Thank you so much."
Okay.
You go back upstairs. Like there is like a service stairwell. Leads you back upstairs. You exit in it exits you in like the bra and panty section.
The
So
what?
you just have to like it exits you in like the bra and panty section. So you have to like
Oh
walk quickly to get out of there.
Yeah, my face is bright red.
Yeah. So
Sorry, everyone.
you you have the receipt for what you bought in your pocket. You just go back and you like pick out the stuff you had and you're like, what are they gonna do? I have the receipt.
I'm gonna sue these fucking people.
So you go back in there, you're like, I'm gonna like show them what happened. So you go back into the bathroom. You see uh, you see grandpa looking down at you, grumpy grandpa. and you give them the middle finger,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
you
do.
pull your phone out, you pull your phone out, and you start recording, and you see the light come on around the changing table. You see the Venus flytrap element of it sort of poke out, and it just swallows your stuff. And you go, oh, and you go to grab it again, right? You go to grab it again, and it just pulls you back down into
No,
the
come
chute.
on.
And the first time you dislodged so much
Oh
trash,
no.
and that it was like a much straighter, faster fall. And they had just like they were pulling away the garbage bin at that exact moment. So the door to like the bay
Oh
was open,
no.
and there
Yeah.
was no new bin put in underneath there. So you just landed flat on the concrete. And
Oh.
those mice that you saved were like standing right underneath you, and you smushed all four of them too. They they come back in and they unload that bin full of trash, and they see your body laying there, and they go, "This is above my pay grade." And then they just put the bin over your dead body. And it doesn't get changed again. The initiative fails, and they remove the Venus flytrap changing tables, and so they just shut the program down. And then those chutes went empty, so they never had to like change the bins again. So nobody ever bothered looking under there. Your corpse was never found. The cats eventually come for the meat, whatever's left. They wind up wiping out all the rats inside the vents, and
Oh,
you
really?
know, yeah,
I
overtake
was
it.
gonna say at least I saved the rats, but no.
No, you definitely led to their demise. And they were and the
Ah.
cats were like pissing in the vents, and that piss smell like went up into the store, and they just didn't know how to get it out, and so it was so bad that they had to close that store down.
Well, fuck that
30,
place.
yeah,
I don't care
33
that they went
people
out of
lost their
business.
jobs.
Well, I guess
I
that's
mean, they
not
didn't go
as
out of
good.
business. They didn't go out of business. They just had to move locations because of that awful cat piss. But yeah,
Okay.
your body is just still, lays there underneath that fucking metal bin, that
It
empty
smells
metal
like
bin.
piss. Whatever.
Yeah,
Fuck that. That is ah, that is something. That really
yeah.
is something else, man.
Sheldon.
Shelvin. He was he was pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, Sheldon ruled.
Yeah, I guess it really wasn't the rat's fault, but damn.
No.